welcome to this VOX special men's edition, Give HIV the Finger. My name is Adesope Olajide. Today I'll be speaking to 3 guests about the importance of testing and of course the awareness of HIV. In case you don't know what we're talking about, let's see this little clip. And joining me in the studio to discuss our topic for today, to my extreme left is Junior Adeosu, aka the CEO of Smade Entertainment. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And close to Junior is a personality, social media personality and sports commentator, simply known as Kelechi, of course, of Arsenal Football Club. How are you doing today, sir?
Thank you very much, my brother. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And close to me is Taku, head of social marketing for Terrence Higgins Trust. Thank you very much, Taku, for joining us in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go straight into the conversation. First topic will be simple. The importance of testing. I'll go to you first, Taku. Let's talk about that. What are your thoughts about the importance of HIV testing?
HIV testing is one of the most important things that people can do for themselves. It's a way of staying on top of your health. So if you have HIV, you can find out about it via testing and you access the treatment that can keep you healthy throughout your life. If you don't have HIV, you get to know as well, and you can take steps to stay HIV negative. Most people who get HIV get it from somebody who doesn't know that they've got it. So by encouraging everyone to get tested, it means that we can have a chance of stopping HIV being passed on, because if everyone knows, then we know that they can actually do something about stopping it getting passed on.
Absolutely. Now, talking about if everybody knows, one of the biggest questions that's been put towards me is the fact that as a married man or woman, that you've been in a marriage for quite some time, is it important to test? I'll go over to you, Junior, about that.
Yeah, well, marriage does not really say, you're protected from HIV, because it's not only through sex you can actually contract HIV. You can contract HIV through sharp objects and other stuff, blood streams, and one just needs to protect themselves from, HIV in general, married or not.
I know before the conversation started, we were having a light conversation, and Kelechi actually said he was a virgin.
That could be very true, That could be very true.
and he said, and I think that conversation has been heard or has been had by a number of people, that whether, if you're a virgin, does that count to not testing for HIV, or one cannot contact that? What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, like Junior has said, there are different ways to catch it. That you're a virgin doesn't mean that you cannot be a virgin the next minute. I'm not one though, but just you have to correct this impression. You understand? It doesn't mean that, that we are randy though. But testing is very, very, very important. You need to protect the future generation. Whether you're a virgin or not, you could contract it through. Even when you're working, it could be that your colleague has HIV and then blood spilled. Anything can happen. And there's a saying that I know, especially in Nigeria, they say, prevention is better than cure. So it's very, very vital, whether you are sexually active, whether you are a virgin, whether you're married or not, to definitely get tested.
Now, we're talking about testing. I know, Taku, you'd like to emphasize a little bit on that. What exactly is the right number of times when someone should get tested?
Well, I think
I'm thinking, once you get one test, you get your past result.
Well, I think when we think about it, say for example, if you are going to have sex with somebody and you have sex without any protection, for example, if you have sex with somebody, you have to think, have they been tested? When were they tested? Because like you're saying, sometimes some people say, well, I've tested for HIV, and the last time they actually tested was like 10 years ago. So we have to think about getting a bit more regular than that. So So think about it from this way. Every time you change a sexual partner, it is a good idea for you to get tested for HIV. So there is a recommendation from the government here, which is about people like from Black African communities getting sort of tested regularly every time they change a sexual partner, for you to get tested. But just thinking like it's a good idea as well, maybe once a year as part of your health check, just include the HIV test in there if you're going to be having any checks as well. It's just a good idea to do. I just wanted to go back to maybe what Kelechi said as well. Like I think on the issue of being a virgin, you don't necessarily have to get tested, but it can be for some people a thing which is quite empowering. It makes them feel good that they do it once. It makes it easier to test next time.
Yes.
So just because you're a virgin doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have to as such. You can if you want, but there isn't a particular need for you to. You can get HIV in various ways, but most people get it via sexual via sexual contact. So it is a good thing to do, to just look after your health if you can do it.
I know Junior was part of the promotion of giving HIV a finger.
Yes,
exactly, the campaign for giving HIV a finger. And one of the reasons that was something that you felt strongly about was the ease in testing nowadays.
Correct.
In terms of the private, I know there are different ways for people to get tested now. You could request the pack and do that testing yourself. What are your thoughts about that aspect?
I think it's a good idea to be able to take a pack home and test yourself and know your status. A lot of people are shy to come out to test in the open, so why don't you pick up a pack? I'm a married man, and last year I took a pack home with me, and my wife was like, "What's this?" I'm like, "Yeah, we are getting tested."
Actually, you don't trust you.
To be honest, she did say that. I was like, it's not about trust. It's about protecting ourselves and protecting the community. This is a campaign I'm actually championing now, and I wanted to start with me. So I went live on my Snapchat on social media, and I tested myself. And she was running all over the house. No. So I said, now you can trust me. So, let me see if I can trust you. Just about. We did it, live on social media, and people were like, wow, that easy. If people know how easy it is to get tested, I think a lot of people will come out to get tested. A lot of people. I mean, it's just a little prick of your pink finger, and then you know your status. It's so easy. A lot of people don't know.
And what about you? You're talking about the fact that a lot of people don't know how easy it is nowadays to get tested. What about the stigma within the Afro-Caribbean community, the African community, of either wanting to get tested or two, someone being a carrier of the virus? There's still a strong stigma within the community, and what do we need to do to eradicate that? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a strong stigma, you're correct, but like Junior has said, the kits alone, when you have it, you understand, I mean, your doctor doesn't know, and then, I mean, it's for your own information, then hopefully God will give you the grace not to share it around. You understand? Because some people want to take revenge on the whole community. That's what they'll not be sharing the thing, you understand? But hopefully God will give you the grace to this. But the stigma is there, but I mean, social orientation, constant conscientiousness and education, and you tell people that they are normal people, and they different, and you educate the carriers on the stopgap measures they need to take, and advise them to take their ARVs and everything, and hopefully that stigma will not go. But we cannot but we cannot mitigate against that. I mean, stigma is that you cannot tell people what to think, but you just tell them these people are very normal people. You can hug them. If you hug them, HIV cannot pass through.
I think one of the benefits of a conversation like this on this VOX special is to let people know that, one, there are testing opportunities privately. Two, there's also medication for anyone carrying the HIV virus to live a normal and healthy life going forward. Speak to me about
Yeah.
That side of things.
I think we are living at a time which is absolutely fantastic in terms of technologies. We have now so many different ways of stopping HIV being passed on in the first place. So first of all, of course, many people know about condoms. Condoms are still one of the most effective ways anyway of stopping HIV. Now we also have things like PrEP. So PrEP, which is a drug which is taken by people who are HIV negative to stop them from getting HIV. People living with HIV, themselves now, if they are on effective treatment, they can't pass it on. Even if they have sex without a condom, they cannot pass it on. And this is sort of like that's one of
people
the
need to know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
And that is one of the most important things.
But what is the risk factor, please? Because I'm hearing this for the first time, so I'm educating myself. What is the risk factor?
What I can say to you is they can't pass it on, so there is no risk factor to talking about here.
Nigeria, now look, this guy. Are you sure? I know, because I know you're involved in the campaign. Are you sure?
No,
It's okay. Taku. Okay, I'm educated.
Yeah, I don't know if Kelechi, there's been scientific studies which have been done, sort of two big pieces of research which have been done, which are called the partner study. So actually, the first partner study, they had about 880 couples where one had HIV and the other one didn't have HIV, and they had over 50,000 acts of condomless sex, and there wasn't any transmission.
Hey, take a breath. What are you saying? Are you serious?
All I'm trying to say is the evidence is quite strong. Like so, people who are on effective HIV treatment cannot pass on HIV, which is one of the main reasons why people should get tested.
What I'm going to do is I'd like us to take a quick break right there, because we'll be talking a lot more about the statistics that we have with regards to where you are right now, and a lot more information about mothers that will not be passing the HIV virus to their kids if under medication. We'll see you in a few.